Welcome to the Foxy Business Hour, where businesses get smarter, sharper, and a little bit foxy. I'm your host, LaDonna Garvin, and each episode we sit down with subject matter experts and business owners to uncover real strategies, tools, and stories that help small businesses grow, thrive, and succeed. Whether it's navigating challenges, celebrating wins, or learning from the leaders in the field, this is your hour of insight, inspiration, and practical takeaways. Let's dive in. Our guest today is Rockey Pulley, the founder of NearNet Solutions, a digital marketing service company. Rockey specializes in helping businesses strengthen their online presence through strategies like SEO, web design, and digital advertising, giving small businesses the tools they need to stand out and grow in today's competitive market. Mark your calendars for September 30th. We're hosting a lunch and learn on AI tools for small businesses. Real strategies you can use now, plus pitfalls to avoid. Our guest expert, Rockey Pulley from NearNet, will share practical tips you can apply for the same day. Rockey, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start at the beginning. Can you tell us a little about your background and what inspired you to start NearNet Solutions?
Sure. So my background's really in construction. Early 2000s, I was in numerous types of constructions. I even had a painting company at one time right after high school. But I ended up doing underground work, running heavy machinery. And about 2009, 2010-ish, the economy kind of went to crap. So I went back to school, ended up getting my bachelor's degree and in information systems or computer science. And from there, I kind of, got into the technology, the IT world. I was in the IT world as a system administrator in kind of corporate America for quite a while until I decided to go out on my own and start my own IT company. I really wasn't thinking digital marketing at the time. I just kind of stumbled into that. I had a client that asked if I could build him a website, and it kind of started from there. It was like, yeah, I can build websites. So it kind of started from there and just, snowballed into everything else. So it's been great.
Awesome. What challenges did you face starting out, and how did you overcome them?
I think my biggest challenge is that, I was from that IT world where I was kind of behind the scenes. I was, the support for the sales teams. And, I was, even as far down as, changing passwords and that sort of thing. So I was never really out in front. So the toughest thing for me was actually to put myself out there and, actually, get in front of, just like today, like doing this sort of thing, presentations, networking groups, that kind of thing, was a big hurdle that I had to go over. So that's been probably my biggest hurdle. But they say I'm pretty good, once I start talking with somebody. It's just once it gets beyond, like, say, one or two people, we get in a group of 10 people or 20 people, then that's kind of where I have that stage fright that I'm getting over, So that's been my biggest hurdle, honestly.
Yeah. How do you think that your personal interests have shaped your business?
Personal interests, so I would say quite a bit. Being in the construction field, I actually enjoyed every bit of that. Being a heavy equipment operator, I loved every minute of it. Underground work and all that. I think that, working long hours, overnights, emergencies, just hard work every day and, blood, sweat, and tears, I think that's kind of helped me in the business now, which is I'm behind a computer all day long now. But so I think that just coming out of that construction field, it's also nice because, I can I understand, home services or, electricians, plumbers, that sort of thing. I really can relate to them and kind of talk their language. not talk over their head like a lot of, technical guys would. So, yeah, I think that was the question, right? I don't know. I kind of went off there.
Well, it seems like a really big change going from construction where you're out every day outside and now you're indoors. And so what's the passion that, like, what gets you excited to get up and go to your computer and start working?
I guess it's seeing, every client I have, I get very involved in their business. I know as much as I possibly can, ins and outs of their business. And I guess it's just those wins when leads start coming in, they start making money. We start seeing those numbers rise. It's almost like it's my business too.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that part of it, and it keeps me going. And also, being inside all the time now, I gotta hit the gym a few times a week too, because I'm not staying in shape, working outside. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely know that.
Yeah.
What do you see as the biggest mistakes that small business owners make regarding marketing?
I would say, like, there's a lot of bad information online, and I would say that just taking kind of off the cuff advice from anybody on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, that can be a downfall. The other thing is thinking that they can just do it all themselves, or they don't need, I've had a few people that don't think that they really need to have an optimized website. They just use their website. They think of it more of like a business card. It's something they need, but they don't utilize it. So I think that, what was the question again? Can you repeat the question? I'm going off on.
No,
I'm
you're
going
good.
off
Okay, so when you're saying optimizing your website, what makes a website optimized versus non-optimized website?
So there's quite a few things, and it can get technical, but just having a website or a one-page website with your services listed, it's not quite enough for the search algorithms, Google, Bing, and now AI searches such as ChatGPT. They really have to optimize for each one of those algorithms, and that's where the technical knowledge comes in. A lot of it has to do. If you're getting into the technical, it's meta tags, meta titles, and really the H1, and not trying to cram too much on one page. So that's part of the optimization. Of course, there's a lot more to it. For each service should have its own page. For each location or city, let's say, should have its own page along with that service. And yeah, so there's websites end up being hundreds of pages for an electrician, You're not going to get away with just a single page or 2 or 3 pages, a home page, services, about and contact page is just not going to cut it now. You're not going to get any visibility online. Mainly because the competition's building out their websites, just like I'm mentioning, hundreds of pages.
Hundreds of pages.
Oh yeah, easily.
Why would you need hundreds of pages for your website?
So let's say I was using an electrician as, an example. Let's just say, they'll have a residential and commercial, right? Well, now they have, let's say, all the subcategories under that. Let's say, panel replacements is a big deal for them. Generator installations. Then you'll have like your emergency service. Each one of those pages, you want a single page, but also let's think about it. So let's say we're located in Tampa. We want to target Tampa first, of course, but now we want to target Wesley Chapel, Lutz, New Tampa. Well, there should be pages for each one of those cities as well. For residential, commercial, panel replacements, there should be a page for each one of those for each service at each location. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is it because of like the algorithm that Google uses for, like, if you're trying to find NearNet, you type in NearNet, it's supposed to be at the top of the page. If your website's set up correctly, it makes it go to the top of the page?
Correct. So NearNet, like branded searches, of course you want your business name, your brand to come up first. That's top. But now we want, if someone's searching a search term such as, residential residential electrician in Wesley Chapel, or even as far as residential electrician near me, those type of searches. We want to make sure that there's a page that's targeting that search term. So we're letting Google know that we want to rank in Wesley Chapel as well. Does that make sense?
Yes. And what if you're like a business that isn't really focused in one area? You can, like, for you, for instance, you could probably do business anywhere, right? You could get a client in Georgia. You can get a client in California. Is the same rule still applying for that?
The same rules still apply. You can try to rank for national terms, but it's really tough. Franchise type companies are going to rank for national, and those companies could have thousands of pages targeting each city.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yes, it still applies even if, you're in Florida and you want to rank in Georgia, the same theory applies to it.
So would you say that the website is probably more important than like the SEO and the Facebook page and...
Well, the website, so the SEO, the search engine optimization, that's kind of what I'm speaking of here, like, really hyper local targeting for each service that's your SEO. So your SEO, search engine optimization for your website. It's search engine optimization for your Google business profile as well. And they go kind of hand in hand. So.
Okay, so if a small business could only do one thing for marketing, they can only afford to do one thing, what would you suggest?
Not to try to, they need to focus in on their location. Optimize the Google business profile is going to be their number one lead generator. And there's optimizations. I'll go over that also when we're doing their Lunch and Learn here at the end of the month. I'm going to have an ebook for everybody that attends, just a free ebook, kind of go over actionable items that they can do to optimize their Google business profile as well as their website. But the Google business profile, or GBP, it's your maps. So when someone's searching mainly those near me terms, plumber near me, painter near me, injury lawyer near me, those type of things, you want to come up first in the map in maps.
Yeah.
Typically, that's what's coming up now first in search results. Is of course, AI's kind of taken over some stuff, paid ads, but the maps are going to be kind of the number one thing. It could be up to 70% of the leads for a business. So it's very important to optimize. It's very important to link it to your website and have those pages. Like I mentioned, the city pages have those linked as well.
Yeah.
And then reviews. It's kind of review velocity. So you can't just get 10 reviews and expect to beat out the guy that's got 150. So you want to keep those reviews coming in. I mean, even if they're just your family and friends, you've got it. It's like the main thing I tell all my clients, like, reviews. Like, let me help you out. Here's a tool to do it. I'll make it easy for you.
How do you make it easy for you? Because I know I probably currently have like 2 reviews, but obviously I have way more than that for clients, and I just keep on forgetting.
So there's some automations that we can put in. There's a few tools that I've actually used and I have available, very reasonably priced. I just include them in all my marketing campaigns.
Okay.
Excuse me. But pretty much what it does is we can link it to your CRM. When, say, an invoice comes through or an invoice is paid, you can it'll automatically send a review request. You can send it by text or by email. So you can send it, you make it easy. And then once they give a review, you're not going to keep asking the same people for reviews. So once they give a review, the system knows and it doesn't repeat. So that's one way to do. A lot of, let's say for like home services, like an HVAC company, as soon as, the tech marks that he's done with that job, it'll send out a review request. That's an example, just automatically. So then you don't have to worry about it. and then the system just takes care of itself from there.
Oh, so that's how, like, when somebody does, like, service at your house and they, like, as soon as they leave, like, you're going, wait, you just left. Like,
Yep.
why am I already getting a text
So
message?
it's linked up. There's a lot of CRMs that include these tools within them. Some of the larger, more expensive CRM types. But there's also tools that I can link, that are external, that I link externally through their APIs and what have you. So once once a bill's been paid or an invoice has been paid, or once they complete that job, mark the job as complete, it'll automatically send out that review request.
Okay.
So.
You were talking about linking all of these programs, and I know in accounting we tend to link a lot of programs as well. And we tend to run into a lot of issues of programs not talking to each other well. Mm-hmm. Do you run into that? I know there's tons of CRMs that are specialized for like particular industries and stuff like that. So does that present a challenge for you?
Not really for what we're doing. So we're just, typically there'll be in like each CRM will have some sort of API. It'll just be like when this task is marked complete, or when this happens, it triggers something.
API.
So that's just the interface. It's an application interface that CRMs have kind of on the back end, so that you can connect two different applications together.
Gotcha.
And so once that signal's sent, we don't have too much problem with any of them as far as connectivity. Usually we can work it out if there is any issues, but I don't run into it much. So
okay,
yeah, it's good.
I guess it's just me.
No, it's not just you. I remember I used to be system administrator, and I was dealing with servers and 50 different applications, and the sales team wanted Salesforce, and then this team wanted this application. It was like all over the place. So I've been there. Trying to get everything to work together and talk can be a challenge.
Yeah, at this point, I just want to go, I'll do it. I'll upload it.
I'll just manually do it now.
Don't do anything. Don't connect it. Please don't connect it.
If I can't, it's because you get that. If you can't, if it's not reliable, then you're just like, screw it. I'm just going to do it myself, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's kind of the state where, honestly, getting into the AI conversation, that's where AI is right now. If we think about it, it's not anytime really soon taking people's jobs, Yeah. There's going to be mainly what it does is it helps you with your job. It helps your team do its job better, I guess. So we can have me and one VA, let's say, can do the job of 10 marketing professionals using the AI tools. But is it perfect? No. We still have to monitor it. There's still human intervention. Even at some point, it's technology. At some point, there's something that's going to break. So you have to constantly monitor it. So it's not anywhere now. 10 years, we'll see.
Yeah,
AI robot's probably going to be, rubbing my back for me while we're doing podcasts or something,
So I was talking to someone, I think last week, and they were like, are you afraid AI is going to take my job as accounting? And I go, no, because yes, they can like review transactions and maybe follow what I've been doing, but there's a lot of things that humans can do that, AI is just not going to be able to. They're not going to, they can only go as far as their programming.
And, and plus probably with you, there's that fiduciary responsibility that are you going to trust a program to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I had an IT guy, he goes, well, soon AI is going to be able to do your tax returns. And I go, yeah, and AI is not doing your tax returns. Nobody's going to...
If you want your tax returns to really suck and really screw you over at the end of the year.
To the letter. Tax law isn't set in stone.
There's loopholes. You got to know that stuff. Yeah.
So, and not just that, when you're looking at it and and you're like, okay, do I want AI to have all of that personal information? Because if you're looking at it like all of that stuff with Facebook and where your information is going and who's getting it, and even today, you don't know where all that information is going. You definitely don't want, like, that's not, a tax return has everything. You, your spouse, your kids, everything.
It's a big concern. I think, kind of moving on to a tangent of this conversation, but I think in the future, AI is not going to be these giant large language models like we're seeing now with ChatGPT and Gemini and Claude. Like, it's not going to be that way. It's going to be more personalized and it's going to be much smaller, but, held on a device just like your phone. It'll be more of a personalized AI with security features and that sort of thing that will be trained on your data and know you and know whatever you want to teach it. But I think that's what the future of AI is. It's going to be more localized,
So I know that, like, when you have Chat GPT and programs like that, unless you have, like, a server, it's open to the internet, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're constantly learning on anything you input into it. And if you ask me, like, models like ChatGPT and Gemini, what data are they learning on? It's like the majority of it is crap off the internet, like Reddit. And it's like, now, is there great stuff in Reddit? Yes, but it's also learning all the trash. And so, if we want AI, artificial intelligence to eventually want to, like, kill the human race, take out the human race, train it on Reddit data. It's like, what are we doing? It's no good. So I think it's going to become much more personal in the future. But it'll probably be about the time that, OpenAI and Google have stolen everything already. But that's probably when it'll be about that time. That's what they're doing. I mean, just think about it.
Okay, I have to ask the question. I mean, you have a client and obviously you're using the AI, you want people to use the AI. How do you convince a client to use it when there's so many, like, if, ands, or buts, and the security and everything like that? Like,
well, the tasks that we're doing are, they're more simple tasks. It's like, responding to a Google review. Like, somebody gives you a Google review, you can have AI respond, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. Thanks for the review. It's real simple stuff.
Okay.
You can actually have AI make phone calls for you now, answer your phone. I've been testing that out with my business. It's not super great, but let's just say late at night, I'm in Tampa. If I have somebody that finds me or wants to hear something, out of LA, which I do have a few clients, they call me at 10 o'clock at night. It's just 7 for them or whatever,
Right.
So you can have AI answer any questions that they have. Then it just gathers their information, what they talked about, the transcript, and sends it to you in the morning. So that way you don't miss anything. So if there's, a security concern like personal data or accounting information, I wouldn't allow AI to, handle that.
Gotcha.
But, on that simple marketing task, like, or say you miss a call, like during the day, you're on the phone with somebody else, or you're in a meeting, you miss a call. If you from a potential lead or prospect, you want to have immediately engaged with them. If you call them back in an hour, they've probably already called somebody else. So, I have a tool. It's like miss call, text back. So if you miss a call, it texts them right back within like a minute and says, hey, sorry, we missed your call. How can we help? And it just starts that text conversation so that you don't lose them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, there's tools like that. It's more, it's a lot simpler than people think, actually what this AI is doing. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, and obviously that's the topic of the Lunch and Learn. That'll be on September 30th. All the AI tools for business. What made you choose that topic? Obviously, marketing is not just one thing, it's a million things. So what inspired that topic for the Lunch and Learn?
I think it's on most business owners or managers or decision makers mind how can we utilize AI, and they don't want to be left behind. While their competition utilizes these tools and they don't. A lot of them don't really know much more than just prompting a simple prompt in ChatGPT, asking it a question or what have you. There's a lot more. It can be so much more helpful. There's a lot more tools in that, and I'd like businesses to know about them and what they can use it for, how it can help their business, almost by having an AI employee. But really, what it's doing, it's taking the simple tasks and allowing business owners to worry about running their business and not the little things, let's say. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Getting back to your business as a whole, what do you think is the biggest downfall as far as marketing goes for your average small business owner?
The biggest downfall?
Like, what is their biggest mistake? Like, what's the most common mistake like a small business owner is going to make with marketing?
I think, since I mainly deal with local home services businesses and a few professional service business types, the biggest mistake that I see is that they don't utilize their Google business profile to its full potential. That they for lack of a better term, half-ass getting reviews. They don't optimize it. They don't know how to optimize it. They think just having it there is enough. And then, I think that's the biggest one, because for all those local type businesses that I'm mentioning, like I said, it could be up to 70% of their leads just off that Google business profile. So.
All right. So is that would be the first thing you would suggest for them to do, is to get their Google business profile up? And
yeah, I mean, honestly, like I offer just a free marketing consultation, and that would be the first thing I do. Just give me a call. I'll look over everything, give them some action items that they can do themselves.
Yeah.
And then they don't, no obligation. I'm just helping them out, and I hope they remember me, in the future.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would, if you can, like me or someone else that they trust, take some advice and actually, follow through on it, I think. And like I said, that reviews and the review velocity. So you don't want to just get 30 reviews this week and say that's enough. You want to start out kind of trickling them in, like 3 or 4 a week, 5 or 6 the next week, 10. But you got to keep those reviews coming.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I know when I was doing my Google profile for my company, you had to go and film and do all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I actually had a little bit of trouble because I'm in a shared space for my office.
Were you able to get it?
Yeah, I was.
Great.
But how do you, I know that apparently I got lucky, but I know that there were some people within that have been having a lot of troubles. How do they circumvent that?
So there's no real circumvention. Google has kind of an automated system when you first create that profile, and then 99.5% of them, they're going to ask for a video verification at the end of it. They want to I think that in the past, they've had a lot of scammers that were opening businesses that weren't really there, that sort of thing. So they want to verify that you're an actual legit business and you're at that actual location. A lot of people say in my industry that you can't verify a shared space as this, or you can't verify a house. Let's say, like I work from home, but I've been pretty lucky, I guess, on verifying those two things. So I have kind of a little system that I can help people with and give them some, tell them how to do it. I need to make a shareable PDF of it is what I need. It's just an email I send them. Okay, here's what Google's looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's what you need to do. And you do these things. Because it's some guy, let's face it, it's some Google guy in India that has no idea about your business or where you're located at.
Yeah.
And he's just going through a checklist. Okay, they showed this. They showed signage. They showed the address. They showed some business cards. They showed their office desk. You know, like they've showed it. So he's just checking off the list. And if you miss one of those things, then they'll deny it. And
Yeah, I had to go all the way down to the street,
yeah.
walk all the way in. They wanted a continuous video, came in, and I for some reason, like I guess my hand slipped when I went to go put the code into my door, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say that with local businesses that, I'm saying that the Google Business Profiles, along with your website, they go hand in hand, is, their biggest digital assets together. But it is the toughest thing because they get suspended all the time, trouble with verifications, all that. But I have tools in a whole process to help out with suspensions or verifications or any of that.
okay.
So I run into it at least once a week, probably 2 or 3 times a week. So I'm able to help people. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think the most common misconception about your field is?
I don't know if it's a misconception, but I think over the past, I would say 5 or 6 years, that there's been so many scammers all over Facebook and other platforms that somebody, like a business owner, hears the term SEO and they're just like, no, not dealing with it. I tried that. I got scammed. They did nothing. It didn't work. Most of the time, they're paying like whatever, I paid them $300 a month and I got nothing out of it. That's because they just scammed you out of $300 and they don't care, So I think that's the misconception, is that, search engine optimization or SEO is a scam in itself, because it's this black box that nobody knows what the hell's going on. What do you do? What am I doing in the background? What am I doing every month? I'm sure you run into that in the accounting field. They ask you, well, what do you do every month? What do you mean? What do I do every month? I'm not going to tell you every hour, every minute that I've spent on your account, but a lot of it, think about it. It's the expertise that they're buying too. So I think the biggest misconception is that, SEO is a scam. And I think it's because a lot of people have been scammed out of, a few $100, maybe more. I
can kind of see that. Like, I know it's not, because I've seen business owners that have used it and it's brought in leads and it's been good for them. But it's like some people will charge like a couple of $100 and you're only getting one town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if you're paying let's face it, if you're paying a couple $100, you're probably not getting much, because there's if to do it right, there's a lot more work than $200. But then again, maybe it's just their initial offer. Like I offer it all the time. What can you afford, man? Let's get you started.
Right.
But if they only have $200 or something, well, let me get you started, get everything, do as much as I possibly can, and then, I'll give you a plan of action and we'll go from there. But yeah, what are you going to get for $200 these days? It's probably not going to work out too well. If you're going to pay for the expertise, for sure.
Right. And I know that like you can get like this optimization on like Facebook is always like set like trying.
It's everywhere.
Would you suggest like platforms like that? Have you seen some success with paying that money for optimizing your post or for business profiles on Facebook?
On Facebook, I gotta be honest, I'm not a big social media person. So my thing, do I advertise on Facebook? Yes, I can run meta ads. But the posting and that whole velocity on there and what it takes for each algorithm, Facebook or, TikTok or X, that's not my forte. A lot of that, I have a professional that I work with that Suzanne. So, she does a really good job. So I just let her take care of that for me.
I wonder how you met her.
Yeah.
A common problem that I've seen with clients is embracing the technology it takes to not just run the business, but like in accounting, you can't we're not doing general ledgers anymore. We're not pulling out a book and a pen. And I have noticed that there's customers have a reluctance to embrace that technology. Have you seen the same? And if so, how do you like overcome that with them?
Are you talking about like even just like QBO, like QuickBooks Online? Someone have trouble with it?
I have someone like writing down in a notebook like debits and credits. So
what I like to do when I run into it is I like to make Loom videos. So I'll make a little video personalized for them. I'll spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like, hey, and do a run through, and it's more personalized just for them instead of sending them the actual like support documentation for QuickBooks Online or whatever. Just be like, hey, here, listen, click here, do this, here, and and then you kind of know their train of thought already as well. The other thing that, just like an online meeting, like a Google Meet or Zoom meeting, those are great too. Sometimes just a phone call works too. It's just so much better when you can see their screen or they can see my screen.
Well, not just like QuickBooks, but like you're saying, make a website, do your Google profile. Those same people that are probably still doing paper accounting are probably not going to be, let me go run on the internet. So do you run into people like that or?
Not as much anymore. So if you see an AOL email address, then run, because that's going to be the people. Honestly, I ran into it. I didn't mention.
Do they still have AOL email addresses? Oh yeah, they're still active. They're still like keeping up with those.
I don't think the email's going away. I know AOL just said like last month that they're shutting down. I was like, I thought you were shut down.
I remember seeing something on there about that, but
you just know that they're an older individual that probably isn't real good with, with newer technology, And I'm just joking when I say run. Of course, I'm going to help them out any way I can. But those are the types that I see that have more trouble, is because they didn't grow up with it. I mean, really, I didn't either. I mean, there was the promise, growing up in the 80s and 90s about how there's going to be a computer at every desk and all that. And it never happened, But now, now that we do have a computer in every student's hand with our cell phones, the teachers don't want them in the classroom. So,
kids have tablets now.
Yeah, that's
the classrooms. That's how they do their work. That's how they,
And then they can, with that, that's smart, because then they can really monitor and know what's on that. Like, they're not going to have Facebook on the tablets, and they know their curriculum's going to be on there and what the student can actually access. So that makes sense. I like that.
The first time I went into a parent-teacher conference, and they told me that my child was doing their whole math class online, I was like, what? Like,
yeah.
Math is not a computer sport. Like, it's a pen. Like, how do you do math without paper and pen? Like, but I mean, they do it. So obviously there's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know, that whole online school thing, like a smart kid can probably graduate high school in a year.
Yeah.
And be done with high school. But then then all that experience socially they can lack there. But yeah, I'm okay with the online stuff, with the online learning. I do think, that personalized in person is still better. So I try to do that. If somebody has some trouble with an app, or let's say with my review widget, when I'm helping them out to, I set everything up, but if they have any technical difficulties, I'm not just going to send them a support document or a support video. I'm going to get on the phone with them. I'm going to talk to them personally. I'm going to make it more personal. So I think that's a big deal. But yeah, when I was going to get into with the AOL thing.
Yeah. So
when I first, I got my bachelor's kind of later in life. I started back to school when I was like 29. So, it was like in my early 30s when I graduated, and I went to work for Dell, but it was in their support, because it's like, that's your entry,
Yeah.
So Dell computers. So even then, this was like 2011 or so. Even then, if you saw an AOL email address, you're like, oh, this is going to be a long phone call. Like, this is going to be horrible. So that's, they're still out there. They're in the wild, but that's always my cue. Like, I see that AOL email address and I'm like, oh, okay. So I know I'm going to be in a little bit more work here than typical, just for some basic stuff, but I don't mind it. I think it's humorous, laughing about it a little bit, I guess. Yeah.
So after a long day of helping AOL people and building websites and getting people all set up on their Google, what do you like to do to unwind, relax?
Big football guy.
Who's your favorite team?
Kansas City Chiefs, as far as the NFL. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm originally from Kansas City, man. So, my grandparents had season tickets back in the 60s, like before Arrowhead Stadium. And then they built, the whole story was, then they built Arrowhead Stadium and they gave them their season tickets, but not their season, not like they put them up in the top, and they were like, screw this. They kept them for a couple more years in the early 70s and dropped them. But
which was it? I'm going to butcher his name, like Kesley, the football player, the brothers, was one of them they were on the Chiefs, right?
Jason Kelce?
Kelce, yeah. Kelce's? They had the whole show on the,
Travis and Jason.
Which one was it? Is it Taylor Swift one or was it?
Travis is the Taylor Swift one. He plays for the Chiefs.
So you a big Taylor Swift fan?
No, I'm not. I can see where that, the NFL loved that though. It's actually annoying as hell that, you're trying to watch a football game and they're showing Taylor Swift 20 times during the damn game. And it's like, I know it's good for them and they brought in all the Swifties or whatever, but oh my God. Please stop.
I don't think.
I wish she would just stop coming to the games.
That's her boyfriend.
I know.
That's her boyfriend. Her boyfriend should be able to come to the games.
I'm trying to watch football, man.
Well, I mean, part of that's on the team, too. The team probably wasn't stopping it. They could have.
Oh, no. That's great publicity.
They wanted publicity. Yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
That's a business. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if it was the business that you were marketing, you'd probably
I'd be all over it.
Yeah.
So we'd have Taylor Swift sitting next to me right here.
I don't think she would.
No,
I don't. I don't think she'd sit there.
All right.
I just don't. I think she takes too much money for that.
Yeah.
She only does what she wants to.
That's true.
Okay, so if you had a production app or tool, what would you suggest? What's your favorite?
Right now, I'm going to mention an AI tool that I really like.
Okay.
So it's called GenSpark AI. You can if you can go online to GenSpark. That's GenSpark, GenSpark.ai, and it's a great tool. Any type of presentations like that we're doing on the 30th of this month, Lunch and Learn, I'll use it. It will create. I'll give it the data and the information and tell it what I want to do and prompt it. And what used to take me hours to create slides or a presentation, it takes 10 minutes. And I've got and it's much better than I could ever do. It does that. It has what's called a super agent, which basically what it is, it's not just connected to ChatGPT. It's connected to multiple LLMs, large language models. It's connected to multiple of them. In the task that you ask it, it picks the best one for you for the job kind of thing.
Okay.
So it'll build web pages for you. I use it for proposals. Potential clients, they're like, how much will this cost? I'll give them a whole proposal. And I'll actually, have it create a web page for me because it's a lot cooler than sending somebody a boring document or a spreadsheet. So, you get an actual web
boring
page.
Spreadsheet.
I know you do. Yeah. You have to.
My whole life.
You have to. Another thing it does, it has a sheets. It will, it'll create any kind of formulas that you need, all that with just, your regular language. You just tell it what you want it to do, and it'll build those formulas. I know in the past I've fought with Excel for years and never been a big fan, but people that are really good at it, do some cool things with it, Yeah. So this AI, GenSpark, has in there where it can actually, like it makes it easier to work with spreadsheets, especially large ones. What else does it have? You can set it up where, on your device where it'll make phone calls for you as far as canceling subscriptions, or you want to set a reservation at a restaurant. You just can tell it what you want and it'll call the restaurant, and actually the voice AI will take care of it. It's got a bunch of other things. I think there's a whole podcast where it does some things with podcasts, but I haven't played with that yet. It does a bunch of things. I pretty much use it every day. It helps me with all of my tasks. Awesome. As far as, creating informational content, creating campaign plans, as far as marketing campaign plans. It just, it's not doing the work for me. I still got to tell it what I want and still have to correct it a few times, but it's a big help. It's a big help. So that's another thing I want to mention is that on the 30th, our Lunch and Learn, I'll also, besides that Google Business Optimization ebook thing, I'm also going to, I haven't put it together yet. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I'm going to just say I want to make a document that shows you how to prompt these, like ChatGPT and what have you, like shows you how to easily prompt to get what you want. Because a lot of people just try to talk to it, but it's expecting certain inputs. So I'm just going to give some certain ideas and different prompts for different things you can do to, it's not going to be super technical, but just to help people along, because they can get better results by prompting it correctly or better. So,
yeah, I think I'm one of those people that are talking to it and I say please and thank you.
Yeah.
So
I still say please sometimes. It's just my natural writing. When I'm asking in an email or anything, I'll throw please in there sometimes, and you could be mean to it and it doesn't care.
Well, that's isn't it, what was it, Alexa? People would be mean to Alexa and stuff like that, and they prompted it to tell it to stop being mean to her and stuff. So
oh, really?
Yeah, there's you can do a lot of stuff with the Siri and the stuff like that. Next time, ask them where to bury a body. You'll get some, or no. The best
there'll be kind of a humorous response
get them to tell you a story. Mm-hmm. And they'll come up with some stories. Or if there's the movie, oh my gosh, the one with the spaceship and open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Oh, 2001 Space Odyssey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell your robot friend to open the pod bay doors, Hal. It's fun. It's fun. And they have a different response every single time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you can do that with, I would say Siri and Amazon Alexa, they're definitely going to be tapped into AI now, but probably some of these, other models are going to be even better than Siri.
Funnier?
Oh, yeah.
I know I'm not
I always tell mine, hey, you can call me by name, like Rocky, and it's okay to cuss. And, I don't want you to go unhinged and be stupid, but it's okay to cuss. And so I'll prompt it for something. I'm like, hey, I need you to help me out with with competitor analysis for this company in this city. And it'll come back. It'll think for a while, get it. It'll come back and it'll be like, damn, Rock, I got some fire shit for you. And I'm like, yeah, all right. So it kind of talks to me like I would talk if I wasn't, all business-like, if I'm sitting with my buddy or whatever.
My husband doesn't have him do the name. It doesn't have it do the name. It has him call him bitch. And I don't know why.
That's funny.
I mean, they took it off. He took it off after the kids heard it one too many times. So instead of saying the word, but I'm like, why would you do that?
And he's probably like, why not?
Obviously I'm probably not using the AI for what it was. I'm trying to find funny stuff, but that's outside of work. But my whole house is wired though. Mm-hmm. I have to say, okay, Google, turn on lights or set lights to 100%. Mm-hmm. I can't use the light switches anymore. And so it's, Yeah, there. I mean,
So we're heading to like that idiocracy, like here in 2040, like we're all going to be fat and lazy and like laying around and letting AI and AI robots do everything.
yeah, but I'm not sure that it takes less effort to talk to it than it would to just flip the switch. I think it takes less effort to
You think
flip
it's more
the switch.
calories burned than actually having to think about it and say it?
I don't know, because it depends. Because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So, like, it's definitely frustrating. So, yeah, you probably would burn more calories talking to it than you would to just go do the light switch.
Probably, yeah.
I do like that, at certain times it automatically turns off. So if there's not any activity for however much time is set for it, it turns off. So that saves on power and stuff like that. But the internet plays a big part into it. So that's the disconnect.
Yeah.
So,
I've always been very interested in, I guess the IoT devices, the switches and the lights but it was the Internet of Things. When they first started coming out, they called it the IoT, Internet of Things. So every little thing like light switches and light bulbs and cameras and TVs, you could just, we're all going to be connected to the internet. I've always been kind of away from that because my major was in information security. And it was like, these things are horrible. Like some person in who knows where, China is, listening into my, my security system. They can turn my lights on and off. They can hack into this stuff. So I've always been kind of, I'm sure it's better now, but I'm still kind of like, I don't need that, Give me an old light switch.
Well, you can also it's not on the internet. It's Wi-Fi connected. You have a server, or at least at our house, there's a server that's there. But I mean, anything that's on the internet's on the internet. We haven't had any
There might
issues.
be a firewall there between, separating the internet and your devices, but, yeah.
I must not be an interesting house to mess with.
Well, that's what I always, I think that most people think too, like, our phones right now, if, even if you turn the setting off, it's more than likely listening to you in our conversation. And next thing I know, like, I'm going to have, a bunch of advertisements shown to me, like that. Wait, I was just talking about that. That's so weird. No, it's not weird. They're listening to you. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, we're going down conspiracy lane a little bit.
Oh, it's definitely true. Every time I'll turn off all the settings in my phone, and then the next time it updates, they're all back on. Like, even though I had them off before, So I have to constantly be checking it. But, yeah.
Okay, so when you do, does the phone have to force update, or do you update it as soon as it tells you to?
That's like a personal question.
I know, that's why I asked it. No, because I have IT people that they go, don't update anything. And then there's some that are like,
when I see, hey, there's an update available, I'll wait quite a while, as long as I can.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we're always learning and trying to pick up new things. Are there any books or podcasts that you think that you have read or listened to lately that you think would be really good for business owners?
Yeah. I actually wrote one.
I
don't know if you knew that.
I did not. This is coming right out of left field.
And I'll be completely honest, like, this was written by AI with my direction. So AI helped me write this little book, and it's just like an Amazon, self-published Amazon book, The Revenue Engine. It's just about building systems within, small businesses, building those marketing systems to automate as much as they can. And AI is a big part of that. So, yeah.
And if somebody wanted to get the book, it's just on Amazon? Or?
Yeah, you can just look up my name, Rockey Pulley, on Amazon, or look up The Revenue Engine, and it's there for 99 cents for the ebook. So
awesome.
It's cheap. Yeah. It was mainly, even like I tell business owners now, I guess you have to promote yourself as well. So it's that personal brand, the personal brand, like the trustworthiness, building that trust is a big deal now in the world of the internet, especially with the digital marketing. They see your face. They see a podcast like this. They say, I like that guy. And they're more likely to reach out to you. And so this was all of that, kind of that idea.
Yeah.
Write a little book, that a 7-year-old can understand, but it's actually some really good insight. And kind of build my personal brand,
How long did it take you to write it?
Probably a week, like back and forth with the AI. Yeah. So
I was
maybe 10 hours of work. So
did you read it? Because I was on a cruise a couple of weeks back, and someone was supposed to be reading this book that someone wrote. And I think he wrote it a lot with AI, because we ended up having to do a drinking game, and after certain words that we would randomly pick a page, and if there were certain words, you'd have to drink, because it was
obviously AI.
Yeah, and I don't think he read it after. It was like it was a joke. Like,
yeah. Yes, I wrote it. And I used it was actually a friend of mine had made a custom GPT, and it's for writing books. He actually had, somebody write the GPT for him. So, and they hooked me up with it. So it was it's like a whole, like Chat GPT is just kind of, that's your chat, but this GPT is for writing books. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And it's probably not connected to like the internet.
No, I think it's something, because it's a business model that he's trying out, so it's not public or anything. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you could just use ChatGPT and write a book. It'd probably take you a while, because you're gonna have to keep prompting it until you get it just right, and probably do one chapter at a time, and it's not gonna write the whole damn book in one sitting, kind of thing. But
yeah, I feel like it's like limited. It's not going to give you a lot.
Right.
I find that it's really useful if I want to, like if I write up an email, I'm not necessarily going to use big words and stuff like that. And it can polish it and make it seem more professional. So I'll take what I want to say, then throw it in there, and then it comes out with this like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice. I want to send that. I'm not going to be.
You can
nervous
also
about
train
that.
it and prompt it on like your past writing, or even on like past emails, or if you've written any papers, it's where it can kind of get your voice and how you write. You can train it on that, and pretty much any of the of the large language models, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, you can train them on your voice, prompt them on that. So other than that, I do suggest, and it's more my world, but that Alex Hormozi books. It really relates to any type of business. $100 million offers, $100 million money models, helps pretty any company with their sales and funnels, and how they're offering their services. So I suggest any of his stuff. His stuff's really easy to read too. It's like, my freshman in high school could get it, could understand it. So
Yeah.
I suggest him as well for any business owner. Yeah.
So, okay. So, any last thoughts?
So on the book, me first, and then Alex Hormozi.
Thank you for joining us on the Foxy Business Hour, where we spotlight the experts and entrepreneurs shaping the way business gets done. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review, so more business leaders can discover the tools and stories that inspire growth. Until next time, stay sharp, stay focused, and keep running your business the Foxy way.